Yeah, probably. That way I can turn behind me. So you can just put like right here. I really
The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Next at 4, a local prosecutor jailed after allegations of domestic violence. Also, Macomb Public School officials discuss why weather is something that always keeps everyone on their toes. A new method of assessing students is leaving some in one state school district upset. High school basketball has just a few games left in the season, and the girls at Macomb High School are on a roll. What are their plans for the postseason? And Nicholas Stewart joined us from the Storm Team 3 Weather Center to give us the forecast for this week. The news starts now.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
A McDonough County assistant prosecutor faces allegations of domestic violence.
New at 4, McDonough County's assistant state's attorney appeared in court after his girlfriend accused him of breaking her hand. Now, Macomb police say 39-year-old Charles Munson was arrested last night following an alleged dispute between him and his girlfriend. Police say the girlfriend reported Munson grabbed her hand and crushed it while they argued in their apartment. Munson said that during an official inquiry that he was just trying to take away a pack of cigarettes from her. Police say Munson stressed that he never tried to hurt his girlfriend and that the injury might have actually occurred during a late-night trip to Hy-Vee. He told police his girlfriend was drinking and claimed she passed out early on Saturday morning in the store's bathroom. We'll keep you up to date on this story. Now, Mayor Mike Inman and city aldermen are frustrated after Monday night's city council meeting. Christine Ann Kolner is the owner of Annie's Cafe on East Jackson Street here in Macomb. Kolner was not present for her public hearing on Monday, February 2nd. That caused the council to question her application.
When you can't be here for a required meeting, and you know it's a highly regulated industry already, broach the question is, are you prepared to commit to doing what you need to do to make sure that you're fulfilling the requirements of the law?
Now, Inman also says he is not against bringing business to Macomb, but stresses how important completing the application is. Next Tuesday night, city aldermen will also discuss the issue once more. And while children look forward to snow days, many parents find it a hassle to rearrange their kids and their own schedules.
News 3's Anna Malay Zuniga joins us in studio to tell us why the district has to make these tough decisions.
Thank you, Mario and Franny. Macomb Public Schools Superintendent Patrick Toomey says the baseline temperature for calling a snow day is around 20 degrees below zero. He says road conditions are also a factor in deciding whether or not to cancel classes.
5 more weeks of winter remain. The possibility of snow days remains as well. This important decision ultimately lies with the district superintendent. The decision they make may not necessarily please everyone.
Some people would prefer that we be a little conservative and wouldn't be out of school more than we currently are. And then others remember the day when they went to school no matter what, so they want us to be in session. And really, I try to balance both of those needs and really just put student safety first.
Though meteorologists do their best to predict the coming weather, sometimes the most effective method is to step outside and find out for yourself.
I get up and at 5 a.m. I walk 1 mile outside, and I do that so I can see for myself what students who may be walking that mile as well, what it's going to feel like for them.
While television and radio broadcasting still remains an accessible source to find out about snow days, some districts have created their own methods to inform the parents of any school cancellations.
We have a student alert system called SkyAlert that we use. Parents who are registered and current with our student information system can receive an alert via a phone call, email, and also text.
Here in Illinois, schools are allowed to have 5 emergency days to add on to the end of the academic calendar. These days will allow the school to make up for lost time. The Macomb School District has taken another method to fix that issue.
We did have President's Day off, but we'll now be attending School President's Day as a makeup.
While Macomb has used 2-hour delayed starts in the past, some nearby districts have taken that option off the table. School officials tell me that they eliminated that option because some parents decided to just keep their kids home for the day. Reporting for News 3, I'm Anna-Malay Zuniga.
Thanks, Anna-Malay. Moving to more weather, gloomy and cold conditions continue across the region as we count down to the beginning of spring. We saw temps just above freezing today. News 3's Nicholas Stewart has more on tonight's weather in his first forecast. Nick?
Yeah, taking a look outside right now, you can see those clouds have cleared. We were dealing with them mainly throughout the morning today, but in the afternoon, they started clearing out. Temperatures warmed up just a little bit. We're at the 32-degree mark right now. Very moist out there, 80% humidity. That southerly wind is helping transport a lot of moisture into the areas. We sit on the warm side of a Clipper system moving to our north. Looking at the satellite composites, you can see that the clouds have been clearing basically from the south to the north. That's going to continue throughout the night tonight. We're looking at mostly clear skies tonight. And temperature-wise, looking at the upper 30s down low to the south with the lower 30s up north. We're going to moderate right around the freezing point basically tonight before the Clipper system moves through tomorrow. But we are looking at the cold spell moving in this weekend. We'll have a full look at your full forecast in a couple minutes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nick. Police have arrested a man they say was bringing a large amount of cannabis into Macomb. Police say 19-year-old Jalen McMahon was pulled over near the 700 block of Adams Street after police noticed McMahon did not have a front license plate. Police say the windows on McMahon's vehicle were tinted darker than legally allowed. During the traffic stop, police called in a canine unit who found cannabis that was in the vehicle. Police say nearly 21 grams of cannabis was found in the car, and brass knuckles were also found, which resulted in the unlawful use of weapons charge. Western Illinois celebrated 45 years of the AgMech Expo show over the weekend. People from all over the Western Illinois region flocked to Western Hall to see all the new agricultural gadgets and gizmos. The show rolled out their tractors, trailers, and crop equipment for the event that has become the largest student-run ag show in the U.S. Showgoers got to participate in activities including the kiddie tractor pull, exhibits of a farm machinery, and a vintage farm toy show.
WIU President Jack Thomas will hold a town hall meeting next week. After Murray Street's riot, President Thomas told the campus community that he would hold a series of these meetings to discuss several issues. Members of his leadership team will be on hand to help answer questions. The meeting is for students from 6 to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, February 17th in the Prairie Lounge. And the meeting for faculty and staff is at 3:30 on Thursday, February 19th. And for those who are fans of the Food Network's Iron Chef, like I am myself, some similar competition is coming to Western Illinois University's campus today. The 13th Annual Copper Chef Challenge will be hosted by Thompson Dining Center Unit Manager Joe Perrone. He will follow up with the chefs while asking trivia questions and giving out prizes to the audience. Chef Josh Filson of Corbin Olson Dining Center will be competing against Chef Chase Wilcoxon of Thompson Dining Center. Each team will be given an hour to make 3 dishes that will be tasted, then rated by a panel of celebrity judges. The cook-off will be held today at 5:15 in Corbin Olson Dining Center.
A Hancock County man is asking the local community to help find his best friend. Cooper is a 9-year-old chocolate lab from Ferris, Illinois. He's been missing for over 3 weeks, and the reward is now up to $2,500. His owner feels helpless for not knowing what has happened to his furry friend. Restaurants in Macomb and Quincy are assisting in the search for the lost lab. Flyers are being passed out to customers on pizza boxes and tables. If you know of any information about Cooper or his location, please contact the numbers on your screen.
Tomorrow on Good Morning Macomb, News 3 will sit down with Mick Cumby and Jill Beck to discuss the Performing Arts Center wine tasting event. PAS will have over 60 wine samples, live music, hors d'oeuvres, and a silent auction, as well as a raffle. Now, the money raised for each event funds the Youth Performing Arts Series.
Education reform takes its form in one Illinois school district.
But some feel the shift in policy may be a step backward. Our Making the Grade report next.
That's me, Joe Decker, owner of San Diego-based Gut Check Fitness, Guinness Book of World Record holder, World's Fittest Man, and WIU graduate. There are a few things that have helped me get to the top of my industry. Growing up on a farm in the Midwest, serving in the U.S. military, and graduating from WIU. This is my story. What will your success story be?
That's me, Chris Lovingood, a senior broadcasting major at Western Illinois University. From networking in DC at a national conference to getting hands-on experience behind the news desk and in the field, the opportunities I have at WIU are preparing me for a successful media career. This is my story. What will your success story be?
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Franny Smith, Mario Calero, Storm Team 3's forecast with Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Danny Fry. Live at 4 continues.
Today's Making the Grades special report discusses the changes in more than 10,000 high school report cards across Illinois' second largest school district. Now, U46 high school teachers have begun using this 0 through 4 grading scale to show how well their students have mastered a course's standards. Now we head to U46's largest high school and go in depth on what the new system and the atypical valuations mean for those applying for higher education.
Good afternoon, South Elgin High School. Can I help you?
School Secretary Debbie Dillon has heard an earful of concern from parents this school year, much of it about South Elgin High's new grading system.
We did get a lot of calls at the beginning. They were concerned about their students, what grade they would receive.
U46 is one of many districts nationwide moving to a standards-based grading system. U46 has been using the system in its elementary schools for years now, but has just this year rolled it out in its high schools. With the drastic change from the familiar alphabet scale, students and parents are left suddenly feeling in the dark on what classes they shine in.
I could tell where I was position-wise in the class, better with A pluses and A minuses, more than a 3 and a 4.
Is what I want to know.
Standards-based grading comes from a new school of thought. Teachers evaluate how well they deem a student has mastered a course's skill, according to, the standards. Question, whose standards?
what we've done is we've taken a really good idea and said, let's do this, but then not look to see if we had the infrastructure in place to actually do it.
Philosophically, all teachers are on board with standards-based grading, but it's just getting through the mechanics of it as it looks on the grade book.
Principal Jim Edwards has been heeding the change at South Elgin, including discussing with teachers what exactly to assess the students on. Other district leaders have used social media as a tool to keep the public informed.
They try to address the situation and saying that we're doing our best to work, we know it's broken, we're trying to fix it, but we're not going back to the old system.
Principal Edwards says more than half of South Elgin teachers have already made the jump to standards-based grading, but expects the district-wide mandate to come sometime in the future.
And, change does not come easily to education. I think at some point the district will have to make a clear decision on that they want everybody in on it.
In the nearer future, about 600 seniors will graduate in May, and many of them heading off to colleges. Counselors say sending transcripts under the new grade system has been like many previous years.
There has not been an impact at this time because the grading system is new.
Most guidance counselors shared the same thoughts as Dominic Zodi, but many students still feel on edge.
Never really tested good on my finals, and that's going to affect it because I can do really good and bomb the final, and that messes up my entire grade.
I've had a pretty smooth application process, which was actually really nice, but I know that a lot of people had issues with converting their standards-based grading because they were used to having the traditional grading of AP, C's, and D's and things like that.
I tell them don't worry because things will all work out in the end, because if they can master the particular standard, then they will be getting that A.
Now, what students say is most confusing is the lack of a definitive conversion scale for the new grades. At each semester's end, the teacher ultimately decides a letter grade they feel reflects the student's mastery. Now, to find out on how the new grades are calculated and what teachers have to do to evaluate their students, click on this story on NEWS3WIU.com. You can also look for the link on our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as Twitter.
The man suspected of killing college student Hannah Graham has now been officially charged with her slaying. Jesse Matthew is charged with first-degree murder in the University of Virginia student's death. Before his charge was upgraded to murder, 32-year-old Matthew had been detained on charges of abduction with the intent to defile. Albemarle County authorities have scheduled a news conference at 11 a.m. this morning where they are expected to announce details. 18-year-old Graham went missing before dawn on September 13th after she was last spotted on surveillance cameras in Charlottesville's downtown mall area.
While we've enjoyed mild temperatures over the weekend, the warm weather won't stay long.
Come on.
News 3's Nicholas Stewart
will tell us just what to expect in his full weather forecast straight ahead.
Stories. They happen everywhere. At News 3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us, the stories that move us, the stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
When the big stories strike, count on award winners to provide you intimate and in-depth coverage. On the air and online, local news, fresh perspective.
Thank you, dear. You're very supple. It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
That's low. That's low. That's low. Look, he's blushing.
And good evening, everybody. Taking a look outside, we're looking at mostly sunny skies right now. We were dealing with a cloud cover early on this afternoon, but all of that dissipated throughout the day today. Again, we're sitting right at the 32-degree mark. That's making our temperatures feel not too bad. It's pretty seasonal for this time of year. Look at the winds are picking up out of the south, bringing a lot of warm air, a lot of moisture in, to our region. Taking a look to our north, we have a clipper system that's moving just north of the Illinois border. That's not bringing us any snow, any rain, nothing like that. But areas further north will be dealing with accumulating snowfall, several inches, and also bringing that cooler temperatures. But no snow, as I said, for us. Temperature-wise, again, we're pretty all over the place across the Midwest. 41 in St. Louis, but only 30 degrees in Davenport. You can see the sharp temperature gradient right here. This is where a cold front is moving through the Midwest. That's what's going to approach us into the day tomorrow, and that's what's unfortunately going to knock our temperatures down once again, well below our average point for this time of year. Again, looking at the forecast map, we have this area of low pressure that's sitting off to our northwest. That's bringing in the southerly wind, bringing in some mild temperatures for this time of year, basically right around where we should be. The snow off to the north, though, that's where that accumulating snowfall will be. And fortunately for areas like in the northeast, such as Boston, this is basically ultimately heading towards the northeast. That's bringing them even more snow on top of the several inches they've already had so far this winter. For tomorrow, the Clipper system moves on through, cold front passes through, and looking at that colder air building in across the region from the north. Again, we have this big Arctic high starting to build across the northern Midwest, bringing in that cool northwest winds into the region and knocking our temperatures down just a little bit further. Thursday is going to be a really cold start to the morning, but luckily at least we don't have school here on campus. High pressure builds in over the tri-state region again, bringing that cold Canadian air into place, and that's going to knock our temperatures down pretty significantly. But as the high pressure slowly lifts off, what's going to be ahead of us, well, that's unfortunately going to be more colder temperatures. Now, don't be alarmed by the -40. This is temperature departure, basically departure how far it is from average. Looking at areas of -40 to -30 degrees below normal upcoming this weekend. That's because a very big trough is digging into the region. That's going to knock our temperatures down, bringing in very cold Arctic blast to the region. But for tonight, we're going to get down to only about 30 degrees. Temperatures will basically moderate through the day today. For tomorrow, though, we'll get up to 34 degrees early afternoon. That's before a cold front moves through. That'll knock our temperatures down. We're going back in time, back in Thursday. Again, this weekend, going to be very cold out there. 30 tonight, 34 tomorrow. Cold front moves through, knocking down our temperatures. And taking a look at the 5-day forecast, temperatures are going to basically bottom out as we head into on Thursday, only 15 degrees as a high temperature. Temperatures will rebound a little bit for your day on Friday of 30 degrees, but then again, just in time for the weekend, temperatures are going to bottom out. Basically, we'll hit probably single digits to near zero for Saturday night and only 21 degrees on Sunday.
I'll tell you what, you had us scared with that temperature departure graphic.
I thought I would panic everybody for that. That's why I wanted to preface it beforehand. I think I got a little out of hand.
You're a true journalist.
I saw the screen. I'm like, no, and you're like, don't be alarmed. I'm like, all right.
That's why we have indoor sports, Danny.
That's right. A lot of basketball on the docket, but the Leatherneck baseball program held its 3rd annual leadoff dinner on Sunday. I'll have the details. And the Macomb High girls basketball team closed out regular season play at Monmouth Roseville. I'll have the highlights. The Bomber boys basketball team had a tough road test in Petersburg against Sangamo Power Porta. All that and more is up next on Live at 4.
Patrick Magoon, and I have the privilege of serving as the President and Chief Executive Officer of Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. I'm also a very proud alumni of Western Illinois University. It gave me the foundation I needed to build a very successful career. That's my story. What will your success story be?
That's me, Sammy Marshall, a junior exercise science major at Western Illinois University, shortstop on the Leatherneck softball team, and Summit League Player of the Year. At Western, I take my GPA just as seriously as I take my batting average. My experiences with faculty, my coaching staff, and the community are helping shape my future in exercise science. This is my story. What will your success story be?
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Before the lights go on, dedication, teamwork, precision, award-winning leadership brings you Macomb's only local TV newscast. On the air, live at 4, Friday mornings at 10, and online all the time. Our community, your community, News 3.
Take your train and go. Stand by 3 for the push-in.
Welcome back. I'm Danny Fry with sports. The Macomb High girls basketball team had one order of business to attend to before the playoffs. Their regular season finale in Monmouth at the Shoebox against the 22-4 Monmouth Roseville Titans Thursday night. Head coach Zach Keen's Lady Bombers coming out of the gates hot. Kayla Vestal will find junior guard Mia Lambert wide open three, right wing swish. Bombers started on a 7-0 run. Macomb led by 5 at the break. On the third quarter, Yanni Sadler slices to the basket. Layup goes off glass, but the Monmouth Roseville Titans woke up on a 6-0 run. There's a nice hard cut to the basket by Daisha Taylor. Layup is good. And then 47-41 after 3 quarters in favor of Monmouth Roseville until this big-time three by Mia Lambert ties the AM up at 62 with 20 seconds left. One of the final possessions of the game. Ball's almost stolen away, but they leave Haley Johnston wide open for the go-ahead layup. Bombers would turn over the ball right off the inbound and lose a heartbreaker, 64-62. Over to Macomb High boys basketball. These 17-4 Bombers traveled to Petersburg on Friday night to face the 21-2 Porta Blue Jays in a non-conference matchup. Damone Doyle being introduced as MHS taking on this Blue Jay team that finished 4th at state a year ago. Doyle driving hard to the basket, fouled, count the basket and 1. Doyle running again over to Grant Hannett. He'll be fouled too on a similar play and 1. Bombers trailing 9-6 halfway through 1. Back to Doyle for a left wing three-pointer. Bombers led 12-11 late in the first, but that was their last lead. Porta flipped the switch in the second quarter. Michael Curry with a deep three got it. Porta up 17-12. Porta led 25-16 at half with help from this drive by Matt Mueller. A little help from the backboard. Macomb dropped that game 54-32 at the hands of Porta. Over to the mats, the Macomb wrestling team traveled west to Warsaw on Saturday for their Class 1A regional. Here's a look at the overall team standings. Winning another regional title of 163 points was Porta. Right behind them was Beardstown. The Bombers finished 4th out of 9 teams overall with 115 points. They had some help from second place finishes by Cal Lawyer and Stephen Huffman, while Grant Brown won the 220-pound weight class. With spring in the air, baseball season is right around the corner. The Leatherneck baseball team hosted the 3rd annual Leatherneck leadoff dinner Sunday night at the Forum in Macomb. Head coach Ryan Brownlee says that the community support over the last 3 years has been incredible.
You know, you don't know if it's going to actually fly when you first run one of these, and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger in a good way. But I like the venue. It's unbelievable how good the Kiplings are to us and Lisa and Roger Ward.
Leatherneck baseball will open their 2015 season, February 20th at the Mule Mix Classic in Nashville.
Wow.
That was sports. Hand it back off to you guys. Catch the rock.
Thank you, Danny. Some sledding lovers got the best of the snow before it all melted away this weekend.
We have that and more after the break.
When the big stories strike, count on award winners to provide you intimate and in-depth coverage. On the air and online, local news, fresh perspective.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Call this free government program for the option that's right for you.
Well, after a series of recent snowfalls, students were able to enjoy a day off for sledding on Saturday. Look at that.
Western Illinois Recreation sponsored a sledding adventure at Harry Musato Golf Course. Western students enjoyed the warmer weather and what was left of the snow and headed down the fairways.
See, that's the best use of a fairway I could probably ever think of, because my golf game is not.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, mine's subpar. I had to make that fun.
Oh, sheesh. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've got a new set. Thanks for joining us in our new home. Thanks for watching. For Danny Fry, I'm Mario Calero.
And for Nicholas Stewart, I'm Franny Smith. We'll stay on top of your news overnight and bring you the latest updates on our Facebook page. Find us at NEWS3 WIU.
Have a great evening.